something brushed aside. It's the unforgettable. Remember the name? Oh yeah. We talk about topics, we say what we mean. No games, we keep it real and raw. Let the truth come through. Judgment free zone. Judgment free zone. This space is for you. Come get comfortable, relax, get loose. Kick off your day, shake off that blues. Welcome to the unfiltered corner. It's true. The unforgettables here. And we're riding with you. The unforgettables and we're riding with you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unfiltered Corner. I am your host, the Unforgettable. Happy Monday, you guys. I haven't spoken to you guys since Wednesday. Wednesday was the last show I did. How's everybody doing tonight? Let me make sure you guys can hear me. I like to do a sound check because, sometimes you just never know, you guys. And if you haven't yet and you're coming across my channel, please subscribe, like, and share, and turn on your notifications. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure. I'm sure. Oh, yeah, you guys can hear me. Hello, you guys. Hello. Happy Monday, you guys. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here with me. Let me share my link with you, my friends, so they can come watch. Just going to share my link to my friend. Rather that I send her the link. It's much easier for her to sign on, you guys. But welcome back to the Unfiltered Corner, you guys. We're going to have some nice weather soon, starting Friday. I can't wait, you guys. I'm finally better from those allergies. I still have my voice is a little bit raspy still. I'm getting there. I'm getting there, you guys. We're going to talk about something very important tonight. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm just sending it to my peoples so they can come in. And I always send out my link, you guys, because some people don't turn on their notifications. So I like to send a link to them and just let them know, hey, I'm live. So what's up, you guys? How's everybody? Hello, Colton Babs. What are you saying? The coconut oil. Can you give me a shout out? Hello, Cam Blake. How are you? So yeah, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Again, I'm your host, the Unforgettable. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, you guys. I'm live Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time, you guys. And I appreciate you guys coming back to my channel. We're going to talk about something very important tonight. I'm just sending my link to a few people just so they're just aware that I'm live. Because some people don't turn on their notifications, so they forget to turn them on, or they don't know how to turn it on. So I just send them the link and I tell them, come join me and let's talk for a little bit, you guys. How's everybody doing tonight? That's first and foremost. How was everybody's Easter? How did it go for everybody? Everybody had a great weekend. Plenty of dinner, you guys. I just hope everybody enjoyed dinner. I sure did. I enjoyed dinner. I made a pork shoulder. Puerto Rican came like good, wonderful. I made a pork shoulder and I made a Russian potato salad and I made some rice with pigeon peas. So good. Everything was gone, you guys. Everything. When I say everything, everything was gone. There was nothing left. All right. So I'm trying to get everybody over here. If they want to come in. It's up to them. So yeah, you guys, tonight we're going to talk about... I had chicken and macaroni. That sounds good. What did you have? Was it oven roasted, Cam? Oven roasted chicken? I like macaronis. Especially macaroni salad, you guys, okay? Hold on, you guys. And I apologize for the delay, you guys. But anyways, let's get the show started. So, let me open up my notes, you guys. Thank you for being here. That sounds good. Oh, oven roasted. Hi, Geraldine Malcolm. How are you, honey? Thank you for joining me. We're going to talk about a real good topic tonight, you guys. And, it's very important to talk about it. I like to talk about topics that are important. And soon, hopefully, I want to get into other topics besides like life topics. We want to talk about like cases that are going on in the world, wrongful convictions, stuff like that. We're gonna get into that stuff. Lately, I just been doing, since I opened my channel, a few life things, but we definitely need to talk about wrongful convictions, like stories that are happening now, court cases, stuff like that. We talk. This channel is to talk about everything. That's wonderful, Geraldine. Auntie Jerry. That's Auntie Jerry, you guys. So today we're talking about grieving the parent I never really had. And I'm going to explain to you guys what that means. Grieving the parent you really never had. So what it means, grieving the parent you never had, it means the process of mourning the loss of a dreamed of. It's in quotations, right? Dreamed of or ideal parent, like a parent that you really wish you had. Growing up, right? Your friends, like the parents did stuff for them and stuff like that. You ever found yourself saying, oh, I wish my mom was like that, or I wish my dad was like that. I wish my mom spent time with me like that. I wish my mom would do that with me or my dad. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're referring to. Yes, free Eddie O'Brien. Yes, free Eddie O'Brien. Absolutely. We're going to talk about those things soon. Because definitely we have a few topics we need to talk about. This channel is to talk about everything, you guys. And I'm glad you guys are here. But anyways, it's the nurturing, safety, and love you deserve but didn't receive from an emotionally and unavailable parent. So this is like, you have parents, right, that you have had, that they were around, right, you guys, but they were emotionally not there for you, okay? They weren't nurturing. They didn't provide you safety. They didn't listen to you. They didn't take the time to spend time with you. They didn't do homeworks with you. They didn't show up to like sports events. They weren't there for you. And that's what we're talking about. Grieving the parent you wish you had. Because this is a parent that's living. And you actually live with them all the way to the point you grew up and you moved out. Okay, you guys? You're mourning the could have beens, meaning grieving the nurturing, protection, and unconditional love you never received from your parent. Okay? I know plenty of people that have had parents like this, that they grieve things that these parents couldn't give them, like love and attention, and they grieved, anytime the parent didn't spend time with them, didn't show up for them when they needed them the most. Those types of parents, you guys, okay? A living loss. We put that in quotations, living loss, okay? Because it's a living person. Your parent was a living person, okay? And they're still living. Grieving a parent who is often still alive, making the closure feel ambiguous, okay? And accepting reality, coming to terms with the fact that they will never become the person you needed them to be, okay? And you're processing complex emotions when it comes to that, you guys, okay? You feel like you raised yourself, you're self-raised. You overfunction in relationships due to that. Constantly put it in 100% emotional effort while your parents or others meet you halfway, leading to burnout. I've seen a lot of kids deal with this stuff, you guys. It's truly sad. It's truly sad to come around, like, even now, like, seeing kids that, like, okay, I'll give you an example. My kids' friends, some of the kids will be like, I wish my mom did that for me. I wish my mom spent time. Your mom is great. Blah, blah, blah. They say things like this to my kids. And it makes me question, like, are these kids, like, grieving a living parent? Like, are their parents not there for them? You know what I'm saying? Like, are the parents lacking? My mother was a single mother of 7. She was great. My dad was around when he wanted to be. Absolutely, Geraldine Malcolm. That's sad, bro. Imagine a mother of 7 raising 7 kids on her own. The dad's around when he wants to. That's what we're talking about, too. Those parents that just, like, come in and out their children's lives. And kids are grieving. Like, because you know what? When you bring kids into this world, they expect you to be to provide them safety, make them feel secure. They want you. Hi, Rory, how are you? I want everybody to like this video and please subscribe if you haven't yet. Subscribe and turn on your notifications. I'm live Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And they come here. The kids are depending on you. Like, you have these kids, they're depending. You're their safety. They want you to listen to them. They want you to provide them love, to be there for them. They want you to, like, be present for them and shit like that. Like, that's what we're talking about. They want you to be present. And I've seen a lot of kids that don't have present parents, or their parents, like Geraldine says, that they come and go as they want, or they pick up phones when they want. Like, I can tell you my personal situation, right? And I talk about different topics and I can relate to a lot of this. I have abandonment issues. Absolutely, Geraldine. I totally believe it because I have the same situations as you, Geraldine. I always told everybody on my channel, I'm very honest, right? I've had my dad when I was growing up, he was a drug addict, right? And my mom was raising 6 kids. Now it was my mother came from a family that, well, she was abandoned as a child too, so she raised herself and she doesn't know what it's like to show she didn't know what it was like to show feelings but she showed us by like taking care of us, right? Because she was overwhelmed with 6 kids, right? My dad would just come and go as he pleased. It was always in jail. It was always something. Like, I remember one day, you guys, I remember in class, right? We had this event in my classroom and fathers were to come. It was for Father's Day. We made ties. I think to this day, my mother had the ties. She's passed away 3 years ago, but she had left everything behind, all the memories. I think my brothers have it. And I remember you had to make a tie for your dad and write nice stuff on it, decorate it how you want to give them as a gift. And the dads were supposed to come into the classroom and be there for the kids, right? And my dad didn't show up. I saw all these dads in there and they were present for their children, and my dad didn't come. You know how hurtful that was as a young girl? I was, I think, in third grade. And to this day, you guys, I still remember that shit. I still remember the hurt I felt. It was painful. I'm like, oh my God, like, where's my dad? You know what I'm saying, you guys? And so that creates, like Geraldine says, a lot of abandonment issues, bro. Because, like, you're like, where the hell you been? And then it was until the point that I was like about 12, he got his life together. And then he abandoned us again, like at the age of 16. And I was just like, what the hell's going on here? So he was kind of like in and out. He was like kind of steady for a few years and then he was gone again. I mean, even now, my dad, how do you feel as a parent if your son, daughter isn't like how you thought they'd turn out, but they end up finding their own individuality and stuff, which might be different as they grow old? How do you feel as a parent if your son or daughter isn't like how you thought they'd turn out, but they end up finding their own individual? Well, you know what? As a parent, we have to understand you expect, right? As a parent, we have expectations of our children and we have like goals and dreams for our children, right? We want them to turn out a certain way, but once kids get to that point that they're running their own life or doing their own thing, or they become rebellious or something like that, or they just want to do their own thing, they will do their own thing. It doesn't matter what you want for them. They will do whatever they want. And sometimes as parents, that's hurtful because we expect our children to do this, that, and the third, and it ends up being something else. Either they go down the wrong path or they go down a path that's just totally different what you expected from them. Okay. But they ended up finding their own individuality and stuff might be different as they grow old. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. Even though they chose their own path, you never know if further down the line, that's all going to change. Because we have to remember, children go through phases. Children go through stages of rebellion. Like everybody, I think, has dealt with that with a teenager or a young kid that goes through the rebellious stage. They go through a certain stage in life and phases too. And it's all about what's going on in society too, okay? So they go through different things in life. And that can all change. Maybe they turned out this way or they're doing something right now and it's hurtful or bothersome to you, but maybe that'll change down the line. We have to understand that sometimes what we want for our children, they don't want it for themselves. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, but we have to understand it. Try to be as supportive as possible, as long as it's not something bad that they're doing, right? Because as parents, we're here to correct our kids, right? And I'm talking about like underage. Once they're overage, that's different. You know what I'm saying? We're here to correct our kids and try to guide them. And, we try to be and parent and be there for them and parent them. But like, you know, when they're older, like we can't do nothing about it when they're older. You know what I'm saying? But just support them unless it's something bad, right? And we correct them. Thank you for that question, Matt Meister product. Oh, it's Matt. How are you, Matt? Thank you for coming back, Matt. So, you start to feel jealousy or longing, right? We're talking about grieving the parents you never had. Feeling a deep sadness. Some people feel deep sadness when they see other healthy parent-children relationships. I felt that growing up. Like I would see a mom and a dad and a daughter together, and it's not that you want to be jealous, but you become jealous because that's what you long for, right? And this is what happens when you're grieving a parent that you wish you had there, or a parent that you wish that would have been there for you, a parent that you wish was present for you, a parent that you wish that was available to you emotionally, it was available to you to give you a hug, a kiss, be supportive, and all that stuff. This is the feelings that come out of that, okay? And then you have lingering inner child wounds. You have inner child wounds, feeling emotionally unsafe and unsupported in your adulthood life. Okay? Despite having a normal, in quotations, childhood. That's what Geraldine was saying. She says even after she's older, she has abandonment issues. Okay? Those are lingering inner child wounds. Okay? And you go through emotional roller coasters as a child. Okay. And even as an adult, you'll go through that when you're a child and then even as an adult, because let me tell you something, that doesn't end there. When you have a parent that's not there for you, like the way you want them to be and supportive to you and loving and the way you expect them to be as a parent, that'll carry over into your adulthood. And even though you're in adulthood and you visit your parents, you still have the same feelings you had when you were a child. Because they're still the same with you. You're still needing what they should have gave you back then, now even in adulthood, you guys. Okay? You start to feel self-raised, like you raised yourself. And you know, ambiguous loss and grief, grieving someone who is physically present but emotionally neglecting you, right? Um And the ways you cope with this is I identify the grief. You have to identify it first, You have to acknowledge that your feelings of disappointment are valid. Your feelings are valid. They're not just it's nothing. It's a nothing burger. No, your feelings are valid. Okay? You have to acknowledge that your feelings are valid, that they're something you really feel, it's something you have to accept, and that you're going through it, right? So acknowledgement. You have to set boundaries and reparenting. You need to learn to provide yourself with the validation and comfort you missed, right? So now we're gonna get into this topic, you guys. I was just kind of breaking it down to you guys, the ones that just came in, just kind of breaking it down so you guys know what the hell I'm talking about. um, I just wanted to kind of break it down. So, grieving the parent I never really had. You ever lose someone and people expect you to be completely shattered, right? But the truth is, you've been grieving them your whole life. Imagine grieving your parents that are alive, that live with you your whole life. And I don't mean grieving as in like they passed away or they're 6 feet under. No, grieving the parent you wanted, that you needed. Okay? See, this kind of grief is different. It's not just about losing who they were, it's about losing the hope of who they could have been, right? Who your parents could have been. Yo, let me tell you something. When my kids have their friends over or their friends over the phone and they see what we do with our children, because you guys, listen, let me tell you something. On my channel, I share a lot of things I do with my kids. You can go look at my shorts. You can look at my pictures. I share a lot of things. I do a lot of things with my children. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the most minimal thing, and I share it. And we do things at home. We do karaoke. We play family games. We go out. We do this, that, and the third. And I share it with you guys, right? And some of the kids that they speak to, the kids will be like, "Oh my God, I wish my parent was just like yours. Your mom is so nice. Your dad is fun, and they're funny, and they're understanding, and they're loving. They love you guys." Like these are things I hear from the other teenagers and the other kids that are my son's age. My son's 20, okay, and he has older friends too. That makes me wonder what these kids have gone through growing up. What were they lacking? Because let me tell you something. I haven't been a perfect parent. I've had my fair share of you know lacking in my parent child relationship, right? I failed in certain parts of my parenting, right? Because we're not perfect. But one thing I can say is I've always tried to be present for my kids. It doesn't matter how minimal, how little the situation is. I have always tried to be present. It doesn't matter if it's little thing that you're like, oh, my son or my daughter wants me to go to that. It doesn't matter because if it may not be as important to you, but it's important to them. And whatever is important to your children should be important to you. Whatever makes them happy, which is a good thing, good things, it should make you happy. Okay. And I've always tried to be present. I show you guys everything I do. I get on roller skates, for God's sakes. I'm getting older. My feet, my legs, they can barely hold it. It hurts. Okay. I'm gonna be real with you guys. But I get on roller skates, to make them feel happy. I do things that they want me to do. So they, so they can understand. Like, I try to do their birthday parties, little get-togethers. I try to do as much as I can for them. Um, Even if it's something small, okay? Because I want my children to know that I am present. I always tell my kids, whenever you gotta talk, come talk to me. I'm here. I'm open. My ears are open, and sometimes I'm overwhelmed, and it's a lot to take in because kids are very needy, and they all want to talk at the same time. But I try to be as like I'll sit here. This is my thinking cap. So I've always told you guys this, and they'll come down and come have a conversation with me down here. They'll kind of share something that's bothering them or something they're going through, and I give them advice and I talk to them and we have conversation. Okay, there's a lot of kids that lack that, a lot, and I lacked that for a very long time growing up too. I didn't have anybody that would listen to me about the bullying that was going on in school. I didn't have anybody to listen to me, like what I was going through, what I felt. Nobody asked me how I felt, what I was going through. Nobody asked me anything. I basically carried myself, and not because my mom was a bad parent. No, it's because she didn't know how to communicate with me. And she didn't know how to communicate with her children properly, but she did always provide for us and did what she needed to do for us. Okay. But, anyways, I'm not just grieving a parent, I'm grieving the love I never got. Okay. The conversations we never had, the version of me that might have existed if they showed up the right way. The version of you that might have existed if your parent would have showed up the right way. There's a lot of kids, and you know what? I'll give you an example. My son's girlfriend, she grieves the parents she wished she had. Um, Regardless of what a parent sometimes does to their children, a child's always gonna love their parent, and they're always gonna long for their attention, and they're gonna do things to try to impress them and make them happy. You guys, because like this little girl here that I have here, that I have her until the age of 18, she going through that. She tries her best, like she's working, she's going to school, what she was doing before. She's gonna go to her junior prom, and she got one more year to go, and she's gonna walk the stage, and they would doubt her. They would say that she was not gonna graduate, she was gonna be nothing, you know, and she's trying her best. It's like they're trying their best to impress their parents. That's exactly what she's trying to do. And that's hurtful, to see a child that's trying to impress their parent and trying to make them feel happy. And, oh, look at me, look what I'm doing. Are you proud of me now? How about now? How about, you know what I'm saying, you guys? Your kids shouldn't be going through that. You know, there's a lot of kids going through this. And I'm sure a lot of people that are watching have gone through this themselves. Okay. And nobody talks about that kind of pain, okay? Because how do you mourn someone who never really fully showed up while they were alive? How do you mourn a person that really never showed up while they were alive? How do you mourn a person like that? Well, I just told you guys, when they're not there for you, they're not supportive, they don't love you, they come around as they please, they come and go in and out of their lives, like that, those type of parents, okay? Now we're going to talk about the confusing grief nobody understands, all right? Feeling sadness mixed with anger, numbness, even relief. And it's truth. When it's almost just like grieving somebody that passed away, but you're actually grieving somebody that's alive. Because you grieve different ways, but if you come to see, a lot of the symptoms of grieving a person that's alive and dead, it's kind of similar. Because if a person's alive and they're not there for you, they've never been supportive, you can't count on them and stuff like that, it's almost the same way, you guys, okay? So you have a lot of sadness, mixed up anger, okay, numbness. That's how these kids and and people grow up after they're dealing with a parent like this for many years, okay? People saying, but that's your parent. There's a lot of people that tell you that's your mom or that's your dad. You need to respect them. You need to love them regardless. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they don't understand the perspective of the child. Like, okay, that's my parent, but have they really been a parent to me? Is the question. You know what I'm saying? Have they been there for me? Um, the guilt for not grieving the right way, because you start to have the guilt of not grieving the right way. Missing what never existed more than what did. Imagine being a child and going into your adulthood, right? And you start missing what never existed with your own parents more than what did. Like, you know, when you're growing up, you have memories, childhood memories with your parents. And if there's a parent that's not there and they don't support you and they're basically there physically, but they're not there, um, you know, there's some memories and there's some memories that you wish you had, basically. You know what I'm saying? You start missing them stuff. You start missing, oh my God, I wish we did this. And you start to think maybe if we would have done this as a kid, you miss those type of things. That's sad. That is sad, bro. I think about that too with my dad. Oh, like I started to miss like what if he would have done this or came into my class and been supportive and been there for me and stuff like that, you know? Um Now we're going to talk about mourning the what could have been, right? With the person, with your parent. The fantasy of the parent you needed. A lot of kids and a lot of adults, even today, fantasize about the parent that they needed. I'm telling you guys, you'll start to see friends that have wonderful. Hi, how are you, Rakes G? Don't forget to like and subscribe, you guys, to my channel. Like this live, please. And thank you for being here with me. Um, they start to look at other people. I'm like, oh my God, your parents so nice. Or I wish I had a parent like, yeah, I wish my parents would spend time with me. I wish my parent would, do this for me. I wish my parent would be there for me. I've come across it all the time and I've been through it myself. It's not an easy situation. And then you start to fantasize about the parent you needed. Like, well, I honestly, my mom was a wonderful mother, but she wasn't, I needed her to be more emotionally supportive. I needed her to tell me that she loved me. I needed her, although she showed me by providing and all this stuff, but I needed her to tell me. I needed her to show up for school events. I needed her for all those things. And I needed that from my dad for a very long time. And my dad lacked and slacked on a lot of those things. And that shit carries on into your adulthood. And then you have like Geraldine said, abandonment issues. You start to have issues just in general growing up. You know what I'm saying? You lots of sadness. You start to think about, maybe if this would have went this way or that way with my parent. It's crazy, you guys. It's a crazy feeling. Mourning what could have been is imagining different childhood memories. Imagining different childhood memories. Just imagining it, not something that really happened. Like, imagine my mom took me to the park, or imagine my dad had taken me to the beach. Imagine my dad had showed up to my graduation. Those types of things, Imagine imagining memories that never existed because you didn't have parents that were present. Realizing you were raising yourself emotionally. Absolutely. I can say that I was raising myself by myself emotionally. I was dealing with my hurt, my pain. Back in the day, it was very taboo when it came to like counseling and parents saying, knowing that we were depressed, and nobody believed in none of that. Everybody thought everybody was fine because we were living, we were breathing, and we ate and we slept and we had a roof over our head. That's just what mattered. Okay. And that's what I grew up around. So you raise yourself emotionally. You have nobody to count on, your parents. So you start to deal with your own emotions, your own sadness, your own depression, your own hurt feelings, your own heartbreaks. You deal with that all on your own. And it's truly sad. Grieving moments you deserve but never got. Grieving moments you deserve but never got. Imagine grieving moments that you thought as a child with your parents you deserved and you never got. I deserved my dad to be there for me every single time I had an event in school. I deserved that from my mother as well. Obviously, my mother was very busy with 6 children. I get it. Like, I can realize what she had going on. But still, at the end of the day, it's still bothersome. I deserved all that. I deserved a parent like that I can talk to and let them know how I'm feeling. I deserve that. And every child deserves that. Okay? So, like, I'll give you examples. Grieving moments you deserved but never got, like protection. My mom protected us a lot, but I needed protection from my dad too, in his perspective. Um, Comfort. I deserved comfort. Somebody to comfort me when I'm going through it, when I'm hurting, when I'm crying. It was hurtful to see my dad as a drug addict. And my mom never sat down with me and explained to me, listen, he's a drug addict. Like, she never talked to us about none of that stuff. Like, I saw him drugged up and it was hurtful seeing him like that. And it was so hard to comprehend as a child growing up. Okay. And nobody had those sit downs and those conversations with me. And I hurt alone. Going to see my dad in jail while everybody has their dads visiting at the schools for school events and around. Or having mothers come in for events, but my mother had to work a job to take care of all the kids. You know what I'm saying? That shit was hard. Okay. And I'm sure plenty of you have dealt with some way, shape, form, or parents that come in and out of your lives, which suck too. You know, grieving moments you deserve, like validation. Validation's a big one. You need a validation for your parents. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that brought you here to this world. Validation from a parent is everything to a child. Because when a child's growing up, they're not out here trying to seek validation from the world. Absolutely not. Because to them, the world is all strangers. The people that are supposed to love them and comfort them and be there for them, that's the first validation that a child looks for from their own parents. Okay? And grieving moments you deserve but never got, presents. We just said that right now. I grieve that a lot. I deserved the presence of my mom and my dad together for a lot of things in my life. Um, Growing up, obviously, like I said, my mom was very busy with 6 kids. She was just trying to make ends meet. She was trying to do what she can do. My dad was out there being a drug addict. He was always in jail. He was always in trouble. It was always something. Okay. But we're not talking about only physically present, emotionally present. Like, I couldn't share what I felt to whom? To whom was I going to share it to? You can't share it to a father that's not here. And he was just busy getting high, and he was busy in jail or getting into trouble or something. And I can't vent and talk to a mother that was too busy with 6 children trying to provide, and she was never around. Who was I supposed to vent to? My siblings, we were all different ages. Like, so, we ranged, my older sister's 52. And then it's my other sister, she's about 50. And then my brother's say in the, 40s and so on. My youngest brother is 30 something. Okay. And who was I supposed to vent to? Who was I supposed to talk to is the question. Who was I supposed? I needed my parents' presence. Emotionally, not only physically, because my mom was there physically, but she was checked out emotionally. She was doing other things. And I was going through my share of shit growing up. I was going through some shit. And I had to keep it all to myself. I couldn't talk to my siblings. I couldn't talk to anybody else. I kept it to myself. Because if their presence would have been there, if my dad would have been a man and he would have been out of drug addiction and cared for his family and been there for his family, maybe the things that occurred to us would have not occurred to us. Like, I'll tell you right now, I was sexually molested as a kid. How the fuck do you get sexually molested as a kid within your own home from somebody that's, supposed to be kind of like a relative, right? And my mom was present in the house. It occurred while my mom was present in the house, and it occurred while my dad was out getting high. Imagine that. Getting sexually molested in the home while my mother was doing something and my dad was out getting high. I deserve the presents. You guys all deserve the presents and the validation and the communication, the support. You deserved it from your parents. I'm just letting you guys know now, all you that are watching, okay? You deserve it. Now we're gonna get into segment 3, right? Because kid, let me tell you something. Hi, La Jefa Laura. How are you, baby girl? Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. If my father was the man that he was supposed to be and would have been available, maybe I would have not gotten sexually molested. If he was there present, I would have not got sexually molested as a kid. Okay? Maybe a lot of things that I went through and dealt with, I would have not went through if he was present. Okay? I'm telling you. So now we're going to talk about the love versus pain, right? Holding both, because we hold both, the love versus the pain, right? We love our parents, right? While acknowledging the damage. I'm not going to lie. I love my dad and I loved my mother. She passed away in 2023. Okay? And that's been 3 years. I love them. But I do also acknowledge a lot of the damage that had happened. And a lot of the damage that I carry over into my adulthood. Okay? Accepting they may have done their best, but it wasn't enough. See? Like I told you about my mom. She did her best, but I felt like it wasn't enough. Because yeah, she did her best. She put food on the table. She put a roof over her head, make sure we kept it. She put clothes on our back. She made sure that, we went to school, we got our things done, but she wasn't present. All I have arrived. What we talking about today? Hi, Nikki. Thank you for being here, baby. We're talking about parents, right? Because even that applies to adults now and kids that are growing up now with parents. Grieving the parent you never had, even if they were present and you never had the parent that you wish you deserved, that you deserved as a parent. That they wasn't emotionally supportive, they wasn't there, they wasn't there for you at all. They were physically there, but they weren't there. And or the parents that come in and out of the fucking children's lives. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about the damages. Hi Denise, how are you? We're talking about the damages that come along with that when you're grieving a parent that you wish you had. And I was giving you guys examples of like grieving moments that you deserve but you never had. Like I talked about protection. I deserve protection. Maybe as a kid I would have not been sexually molested if my dad was not out there getting high and my mother was more present. Because how the fuck, as a 5 or 7, I think it was 6. How the fuck as a 6-year-old I was getting sexually molested within my own home while my mom was present physically in the house and my dad was gone on the streets? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm breaking down. We deserved present parents. We deserved validation. Like I said, children don't seek validation. They don't seek validation from the world, right? They seek validation from their own parents, the first person that brought them to this world and the parents that are supposed to be there. We deserve presents from our parents, okay? And now we're talking about the damage that comes along with that shit. It's okay, Girth Brooks. I hope you guys like my channel and you guys subscribe to my channel. So yeah, like I endured. Imagine I had my mother that was physically there. My dad was out getting high, and I longed to have a dad there, but I was visiting him in jail, or he was out getting high. It was always something. And then my mom was physically there. She was trying to provide, but and I got sexually molested within my own home. Can you believe that shit? And that's why I try my best to always be present for my children, because I want my children to understand that I'm here to protect them. I stand 10 toes down for them. Okay? Doesn't matter what it is. I'm fighting a whole army right now. If you guys don't know, I'm against the cops here where I'm at because a guy crashed my daughter. He hit her across the head, caused her a concussion, right? And they didn't want to press charges on him. Okay? You know why? Because he was a cop's brother. And I didn't give a fuck who was against me in this town. And I don't give a fuck what cop was against me, but I had to stand 10 toes for my daughter. You get what I'm saying? That's being present. My kids know I will stand 10 toes down. I'm here to protect them. I'm here to comfort them. I'm here to comfort them. I'm here to listen to them when they need to speak about something. I'm here to validate their feelings. I'm here to validate them as humans. Because I don't want them to look for validation on social media. I don't want them to look for validation out there in the world. I'm their mom. I know what's best for them. And I'm like, yep, that's good. This is wrong. And I correct them and blah, blah, blah. And I'm guiding them in life. Okay? And I provide to my kids presence. I'm here. And we're not talking about physically present. We're talking about I'm here emotionally for them. I'm here physically, emotionally, in every way, shape, form. Okay? And I know a lot of people that watch my show, because even though some people are not watching now, they come across my channel and they watch. They have gone through some shit like this. They had parents there. Maybe one was present emotionally, physically, and the other one was gone. I was giving you guys an example. I was like a third grader, you guys. We had to make ties for Father's Day. It was made out of construction paper, okay? And we had to write little cute messages on it for our dads, and the dads were supposed to come in, and we were supposed to give it to them as a gift, and they were supposed to talk about what they do and what career they have, and blah, 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 blah. Every child in that classroom, you guys, had a father there, and I had none. You know how hurtful that was as a third grader? And that's not counting all the other events I had growing up that none of my parents showed up for, that I needed support. I had nobody to open up to. How I've opened up with my kids like that, I had nobody to talk to and vent. Had nobody to be like, hey, I feel like this. I had a lot of bullying growing up, you guys. I was bullied a lot. I was bullied because of my weight. I was a heavy set girl. I had a lot of people mistreating me in school. I was not part of the popular girls. I was not a good looking girl. I was a heavy set girl. And I was bullied a lot by boys. I was bullied a lot by girls. And who was I supposed to talk about that to if nobody was present? My mother was there. She was providing, but she wasn't emotionally there. She wasn't present, you guys. That's what we're talking about, all right? And we're talking about love versus pain, holding on to both, okay? So we acknowledge that we love our parents, right? But we acknowledge the damage that they have caused. We have right to do that. I love my mom and my dad, but I also acknowledge the damage that they caused. Okay? And we carry that shit into our adulthood, okay? We gotta accept that they may have done their best, but it wasn't enough. My mom did her best. She did, but it wasn't enough for me because I needed her there present emotionally. Although I understand now as an adult and she's passed away that, she had 6 kids she had to raise on her own and she had to do a lot of work on her own. But then my dad got better when I was about 12. They were both together. They were working and stuff, and she still wasn't present emotionally. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. You know what I'm saying? Breaking they're a parent, so they get a pass mindset. You guys need to break that mindset. They're a parent, so they get to the pass mindset, okay? No, you are a parent. You brought me to this world, and I expected you to be there for me. When you bring kids to this world, you're supposed to be there for them. You're supposed to be stable for your children. You're supposed to love your kids. You're supposed to listen to them. You're supposed to validate them. You're supposed to do you're supposed to be everything in your children's life. And I know parents make mistakes. I just said I've done a lot of mistakes as a parent raising my kids, but I'm here and I'm present and I listen. Okay. Just because you're a parent, that does not give you a pass. You guys have to put that mindset because they're your parents doesn't give them a pass. You got to get rid of that mindset. It doesn't give them a pass to what they're not providing to you as a need. Okay? And allowing yourself to feel angry without shame. Because let me tell you, I used to get angry. And even to this day, I get angry. And I feel shame. Why am I feeling shame? I'm making valid points. I needed them present. I maybe would have not made the fucking fucked up decisions I made growing up. And maybe I would have not gotten sexually molested. And maybe I would have not gone through the fucking emotional fucking tragedies that I've been through. I needed them present. So I questioned myself, why am I feeling shame for being angry? I had that mindset with my mom. I'm like, well, she had a lot of kids and blah, 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 blah. But still, I had 4 children, now 5. I have my son's girlfriend. Hi, Miss Christina. How are you, baby girl? Um, and let me tell you, it's not a fucking excuse. It's not an excuse. And I know my dad comes across my channel. He watches my shit, my brothers and my sisters. It's not a fucking excuse. It's not an excuse. You brought your kids to this world. You are supposed to be there for them, to protect them and love them and listen to them and provide. They wasn't brought to this world to emotionally raise themselves and not have people there for them, bro. Because I can acknowledge I'm not gonna keep on feeling shame for how I feel and why I get angry. Okay? Let me tell you, I acknowledge nowadays that there's a lot of damage that I had stemming from all that shit I went through growing up and all the people not present there for me growing up. I acknowledge it. And the good thing, I'm proud of myself because I acknowledge it, you guys. I fucking acknowledge it. I accepted it and I acknowledge it. And I understand I've been through therapy. There's a lot of people, I've had talks with my pastor. I've even shared it with my husband. He may not understand it so much, maybe so. He has abandonment issues too. His dad wasn't present. Can you guys believe I'm going to give you a story time? Because I like telling you guys a story time, okay? It's always good with story times when I talk about these things, all right? Um, my husband, his dad left him when he was young. He was about 4 months old, I guess. This is what I heard from the mother and everything else, right? And I remember my husband was young when he first got with me. And I had his son, his first son, because my older one is in his. For you guys that don't know, he raised my older one, for a few years, and then his father was present in his life or whatever, right? And let me tell you, his father supposedly wanted to see him for the first time in like 20 years, okay, 21 years, and I remember to this day, he's like, okay, I'm gonna take my wife. Or my girl, at the time I was his girlfriend. I wasn't his wife yet. I became his wife when I got pregnant with his daughter. Um, he was, oh, I'm bringing my girlfriend. I'm going to bring my son, right? Because it's the first grandson to that man, to his father, okay? And he's like, I'm going to bring my girlfriend and my stepson that I've raised, and I'm just going to go meet my dad. And he was excited, right? His dad hadn't been present for years in his life, never been emotionally present, never physically present. He just didn't give a fuck. All right. So my husband had a lot of resentment. He had a lot of abandonment issues. He had a lot of anger built up. He had a lot of shit that he needed to learn. He had so much going on. And to this day, he suffers these things, bro. And I remember when we were going to, his dad was out in New York at the aunt's house, okay? And we were going down there. We get on a bus, you guys. Scope this, right? The aunt's like, oh, I'll pay you guys trip to here and back, right? She offers to pay the trip for the kids didn't pay. It was just the two adults. She offered to pay the trip there and back. So we go down there. He's excited to talk to his dad after so many years, you guys. Can you believe? I will never forget this. His dad comes up the stairs, puts down the bike, right? Up the stairs of the aunt's house. And he's like, what's up? Like if he was a random stranger from the street that he's just saying what's up to. It wasn't like, oh, how you doing? It's been so long and let me give you a hug and cry it out because it's been years or whatever. Bro, imagine telling your son you haven't seen for 20 years or more, what's up? What's up with you? That's it. That's all he's getting. He didn't get a hug. He didn't get anything. That rubs my husband the wrong way. Really bad because I'm sure that little boy within him, right? Because we all carry inner children, all right? That little boy within him wanted his father to be like, hey, it's been so long I haven't seen you. Oh my God, it's finally nice to see you. It's finally to give you a hug. It's nice to give you a hug. Oh my God, I'm meeting my first grandchild. That man did not pay attention to none of his grandkids. his grandchild either. And he didn't give his son a hug. He wasn't welcoming at all, you guys. And when I tell you our experience was shitty out there, it was shitty. And we were just there for like a weekend, okay? And then when we were going to come back, remember I told you guys that the aunt offered to pay the trip there and back? She wasn't going to pay. She was in a room the whole time we were there, like in the room. The father came just for that moment and left and never came back, okay, you guys? The father left. It was a what's up, hey, how are you? It was like a 10-minute deal and he just left. Never hugged this son, nothing. He goes, never came back. The aunts closed up in the room. It was just a whole weird situation, okay? We're there for the weekend with the kids. We stayed in the house, and then it's time to go. And the aunt's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna pay for your trip back. There was no money to pay for our trip back. Literally, you guys, this is so embarrassing, bro, because she offered. When we got back here to Mass from New York, my husband was fucking fuming. He was angry, okay? And rightfully so, okay? I got here to Mass and I told the driver, listen, I get paid on certain day. Come and get your money that day. And thankfully that driver understood. But that's what we're talking about. My husband suffers the after effects of he grieved a parent that wasn't there and he wished he had. And then when he finally gets the opportunity to see him as a grown man and as a father, this is what that man comes and does. Hey, what's up? Like he's just a nobody. No hug, no nothing. Oh my God, it's nice to see you. Nothing. For 10 minutes and we never seen him again. So he holds a lot of resentment. This goes to show you guys that these type of behaviors, if you're bringing kids into this world, make sure that you're going to be there for them. You're going to listen to them. You're going to provide for them. You're going to be emotionally supportive for them. You're going to spend time with them. You're going to do stuff for your kids. It is sad, Geraldine. Like, make sure you're going to do that because now these kids grow up angry with a sadness, with abandonment issues. They grew up with a lot of feelings. I grew up with a lot of feelings. Okay? My husband, he still has that inner child within him. I still have that inner child within me. Okay? Everybody has the inner child within them. Because you lack so many things as a child, you carry that along into your adulthood, bro. You know how much you affect a child, bro, and into their own life when they're older? That's it's just insane. That's what my husband that was my story from my husband's perspective. And I've been it's in pieces, bits and pieces. While I talk about this, I kind of give you little story times about what I've dealt with in my life. Okay. Um, Now we're gonna get into the identity impact. Okay, how it shapes your relationships. I just told you guys. It causes when somebody is lacking emotional stability from a parent growing up, they carry that on into their adulthood. And then what happens is it affects their relationships, their romantic relationships too. It affects it. My husband and I, we've been together 20 years this year, and it has affected him as a man and also myself. A lot of what I lacked growing up has affected me in my marriage as well, of my parents not being present. So, and then you know what's the sad part, you guys? And this is reality. I'm just gonna say it like this. What we lacked from our parents, we start to look for it in our partners. Imagine looking for what we lacked from our parents within our partners, and we expect it from them. That's the damage I'm talking about. And then that caused a lot of stress and strain and sadness and brokenness and a lot of stuff within a marriage or within a relationship. And it also affects your friendships too, because then you have abandonment issues. So you want to have friendships, but it messes up your friendships too. Because again, like I said, you're looking for what you were lacking with your parents and those feelings and everything you carried into adulthood. You're looking for it in the wrong places where you should have gotten it from your parents to begin with. You start to have trust issues, abandonment wounds. Geraldine said that. Okay? Auntie Jerry said that. The abandonment issues. You'll start having big abandonment issues. Absolutely. And this is truth. And I'm going to tell you why. Because like I said, You're seeking what you lacked with your parents into your partner. And since I have abandonment issues, right? Whenever I'm going through it with my husband, I feel like there's a lot of abandonment issues within my marriage. And it's just overall sad situation. It strains my marriage. And he's doing the same. He is doing the same. It's a fucking sad situation, bro. You have a lot of trust issues. You feel like you can't trust people around you. You start to hold your walls up. You start to be very observant about the people around you. You know why? Because the people that were supposed to be there for you, the people that brought you to this world, they conceived you. Your mother conceived you. Your dad made you with your mother. Those were the ones that fucked up from the beginning already. So you start to have trust issues. They already fucked up. You carry that with you. So you start to have trust issues with those who surround you. You're very observant. You watch everything. Everything is kind of like a mystery. Everything is kind of like weird. Guys, I'm telling you, it's truth. It's truth. And them abandonment wounds are not easy to fucking deal with. You carry that shit within your heart. And let me tell you guys something. I'm gonna be real with y'all, right? There's times that I call my dad. He's too busy with his girlfriend or he's doing other thing. He could have the phone in his hand and he won't answer my phone calls. Like, sir, you are 60 something years old. Was it not enough? All the abandonment issues and all the bullshit that I went through when I was a kid that you wasn't present and you're still doing that after you're old, bro? Like, for real. When is it going to be enough? But when he needs me, I'm present. Whenever he's needed me, I'm present. There's sometimes he's present. He knows he's the only parent I have left. He knows. My mother passed away 3 years ago. So when my brothers, and I told you guys, I have a brother that he's recovering from drug addiction, and he's in a program. And you know, my dad's been asking me, oh, get into a program and blah 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 and this and the third. The poor kid feels like he has nobody because he's going through the same shit. And he's like, I've been trying to call dad, and he don't answer my phone calls ever. So the other day, my brother calls me from the program. I'm like, damn, he should be proud that his son is in a program, bro. I'm like a second mom to my little brother. He doesn't have my mom, so he depends on me a lot. And let me tell you, he calls me, he tells me that. I said, well, I'm going to call him. So I three-way call him, and finally my dad answers. And he gets to talk to my dad. Like, why do we need to go through third party to talk to you, bro? Why? My brother needs to go through third party. A lot of the situations that we have all faced has been from all this bullshit that we dealt with growing up. Okay? From the addictions to everything. From the emotional instability, from everything has stemmed from all that, from when we were kids. People have no idea how much that affects a person. Okay? Now, you start to overcompensate or become overly independent. You start overcompensating people or you become overly independent. I told you guys, that's just fake energy, especially from family who you're supposed to be close with. Absolutely, Nikki. Yo, that shit's hurtful, bro. It's hurtful. Like, you're the only parent I have left, bro. And then he was here on my chat. You guys saw him. He was here and I was crying about my mother. You guys saw me crying when I lost my mother. We were talking about that because I did it on her anniversary. And he's like, you have me. How do I have you? When? Because there's times that you with your girlfriend, you don't answer that phone call through a whole weekend. It's like a honeymoon phase. It's annoying, bro. I have my husband. I have my children. But I make time for my family. I make time for people around me. You know what I'm saying? I don't just not pick up people's phone calls because you know what? You will never know that you don't pick up that phone call and it's an emergency. Okay? What if it's an emergency? It's crazy. It's crazy. I would not never answer my children's phone calls. Unless I'm sleeping and I just missed it by mistake. That's different because none of us are perfect, bro. But I make sure even if they're in school and they Snapchat me, they're not supposed to be on their phones, but they'll Snapchat me or they'll text me or something. But I answer it. Because you just never know. The world is crazy. You don't know if there's a school shooter or something going on in the school or they're going through some shit in school. I had my youngest. My youngest, if you guys don't know, has emotional disabilities. She's 14, she will be 15, and her mindset is of a little kid, right? And she used to email me all the time during the day in school when she was in middle school. And she would tell me what she was going through, what's happening, and I would email with her back. You get what I'm saying, you guys? It's those minimal things. And if it was necessary that I had to step foot in the school and come stand 10 toes for my baby, I would go. Even with my children, if they had something going on. But I answer them. You just never know. My son Angel, he's 20. He's going to be 21. He called me today. He was at work. I answered that phone call. Why? Because it's my job, even though he's 20, to make sure my son is good. I don't know what he's calling me for. I don't know what's going on. I got to make sure he's good, you know? Um, Becoming the person you needed. You start to become the person you needed. And that's truth. I'm explaining to you guys. I mean, not everybody's as fortunate. I've come across people that come from damaged parents that do that to them, and these individuals become very damaged into adulthood. And they don't become the person that they needed. They become 10 times worse. I've seen that happen, okay? Me, on the other hand, I can say I became the person that I needed. I became that person with my children. It's not taboo to me when my kids tell me I feel depressed or I feel anxiety or I feel down or I feel hurt. Back in the day, it was taboo. Nobody thought about none of those feelings before. But it's not like that to me with my kids. Their emotions are valid to me. Okay? So I became the person that I needed. I became the parent that I needed from my parents. And I adjusted it right into my adulthood. Yes, I haven't been perfect. I've kind of failed. And my kids have corrected me. Hey, Ma, you're doing this and it's bothersome or it's hurtful. And they correct me and I say, I'm sorry. But you know what? The wonderful thing about me and my children's relationship is that I'm very open with my babies. I tell them what I came from and what I lacked as a child and what I've been through and what I've done. I'm an open book to my kids. And I've told them, so not because it's an excuse, because I'm going to put it right there. It's not an excuse, because as a parent, I'm here to do what I got to do. But the times that I have lacked or slacked or said something out of pocket or did something that's not appropriate or something like that, they correct me. Or they tell me how they feel and I correct it. And I apologize and I say I'm sorry. But they know where I come from. Okay? But I try. Um, Now we're going to talk about the healing without the closure. Because you don't get closure from these parents. You have to heal on your own. You emotionally raise yourself. I emotionally raised myself. Okay? And I'm sure my mother emotionally raised herself too. She didn't have parents. But still, we can't go around using that as a fucking excuse. We need to learn. Okay? I still loves my mother to death. You have to start healing without closure, right? Because some of these parents won't give you closure. And we're talking about the parents that come in and out of children's life too. Okay? You start accepting you may never get answers or apologies, bro. I sure as hell never got answers. And I never got apologies. My husband never got answers and he never got apologies either. Till this day, can you guys believe, right? The mother's not with the father, right? My husband's mother's not with the father. But the mother rents a room to him. And he'll talk to the mother, but the dad doesn't talk to him. Can you believe that shit? It's insanity to me. Insanity. I've already accepted that I'm not going to get apologies for the shit I've been through. And I've already accepted that I'm not going to probably get answers to them. I'm an adult now. Now I have my own babies to take care of. Now I have my own babies that I choose not to do the same thing that was done to me. I choose to provide to them what was not provided to me growing up. I choose that. Because if you bringing kids to this world, that's your job. That's your job. You supposed to be there for these kids. You supposed to stand 10 toes down for them. You supposed to support them. You supposed to listen to them. You supposed to, guide them. That's your job. Even the Bible, for those that believe in God, because I believe in God with all my heart and soul, the Bible says that we instruct our children. It talks about that. And it talks about not bringing our kids to rebellion, like not taking them to that level and being there for them and guiding them and showing them wisdom. It talks about all that and correcting them. It talks about all that, bro. That's our job. There's no excuses, bro. No excuses whatsoever. You start to let go of the need for them to fix it. Yep. You guys, can I tell you something? I came to the point of realization in my life that I don't expect my father to fix it anymore. Oh, this is how I talk to my siblings. Oh, he doesn't answer. I'm so used to it by now. It's whatever. It's whatever. Like that. I don't even expect him to fix it anymore. Oh, he doesn't answer my phone call. Or he wasn't there. Just you start to accept. He's like, it's whatever. Like it is what it is. And you let go of it. Because you don't expect nothing from them anymore. It's too late. You start to create your own closure. Yeah, you do the closure on your own. That was me. I'm creating my own closure. Okay, my mom went through her shit, when she was growing up. Okay, that's her closure. She tried her best. With my dad, okay, he was a drug addict. The closure. He's gonna continue to be like this. He's been like this for years. That's my own closure. Okay, it's whatever to me anymore. Imagine creating your own closure because you can't even get it from your own parents. It's crazy, bro. And then you start to reparenting yourself. You start to speak kindly to yourself, and you start to set boundaries, and you start to give yourself what you missed. Absolutely. I didn't get therapy growing up when I needed it. I get therapy as an adult now. I didn't get attention as a child growing up. I give myself attention. Bro, everything that lacked, I start to do it for myself and what I missed. I was never taken to certain places or I start to do it myself. My parents were never present for school stuff. I start to do it for myself for my children. It's important, you guys. You got to understand how important this is. All right? And now we're going to talk about breaking the cycle, breaking it. Choosing to show up differently for your own kids and relationships. I was just talking to you guys about this. You start to choose to show up differently for your kids. You want to be better than what you had. Absolutely. I show up. I show you guys. I'm an open book to you guys. What you see here is what you get in life. I'm an open book. You guys see, I share my events with my kids, when I go out, when we go out for dinner, whatever we do, I share it on my YouTube page. Because family is important. People don't understand the importance of family. Our children and family is important. Their life is important, okay? And then you start being intentional with love. You start to be intentional with love. You start to be intentional with presence. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is truth. I start to be intentional with love, and I start to be intentional with presence for my kids. Absolutely. I'm intentionally there for them. 100%. It doesn't matter the reasons. It doesn't matter the reasons. I'm here. Listen, Mr. Unforgettable just got into this car, okay? And I'm going to explain to him, you know what we're talking about? Grieving the parents we wish we had. Suffering that. And I explained to them our situation when we went down to New York. I'm going to turn the phone. Maybe he wants to show his face. I explained to the audience the time your dad left your life, like when you were 2 or 3 months old, and then when you were older, like 19, 20, whatever, and he wanted to go see his dad, and we had a child together already, and that you were excited to go see your dad after so many years, and I told him how he greeted you when you seen him after so many years. It was like he was a random person. What's up? No hug, no nothing. And we're talking about all these things that parents do while we're growing up. It affects us as adults and what it does. So I explained that to them and how it makes you feel as a person now. You know, when parents are lacking. I was explaining to them, maybe I wouldn't have been sexually molested as a kid if my dad was present and now they're doing drugs. And my mom was present in the house when this was happening. I was explaining to them all this. And maybe we would have not made the choices we've made growing up if our parents not present, because sometimes they're physically present and it's like they're not present because they're not there emotionally. They don't listen to us, blah, blah, blah. My husband goes through that right now with his mother. He loves his mother. Let me get the lighter. He loves his mother. But what happens? When he calls his mother, he was getting used to calling his mother all the time and she'd hang up within less than 2 minutes. Oh, I got another phone call. I'll call you back. That hurts him as a man. And he's 36. And now he doesn't text his mother. He doesn't hit up his mother. He barely answers her. He doesn't. It's not important. And now his siblings get mad at him and tell him that he's choosing a woman over his mother. Can you believe this shit, you guys? This is the world we live in, the craziness, the world that is lacking accountability, bro. When he was reaching out to the siblings and the mom all the time, and they were lacking and they weren't providing for him what he needed, right? He got tired. It comes to a point you get tired. And now they blame him. And they get mad at him. His mother sent me a message not too long ago. I said, listen, he's the one that doesn't want to hit you up. Like, you guys blame me all the fucking time for that. That's not my problem. Your relationship is your problem. My problem is him and me and my children. Okay? And she says, oh, I know how he is. He's going to regret it. Like, so she starts to use the guilt trip. He's going to regret it the day I die. He's going to regret it. And blah, 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 blah. I don't want to see him crying. This is the type of shit. That's manipulation, you guys. It's manipulation, bro. And as a man, that has affected him as a man. So this is what I'm explaining, right? Now we're going to talk about, and I was explaining that my dad, I call him and he don't answer me. He could have the phone right next to him. We've already proven the point. We've been to his job while he's been at his job and just made the phone ring and he has the phone there. He looks at it, doesn't pick it up. Like, sir, you couldn't pick up your phone? What if it's an emergency, bro? We talking about the parents that are there physically, but it's not there. And the ones that come in and out like your dad, you know, and what it causes in people. Now we're talking about, the breaking the cycle. Turning pain into awareness, not repetition. Now we take that pain that we lived growing up from all the shit we've been through with our parents and all we lacked, right? And we make it into awareness, self-awareness. There's times, like I said, as a parent, I failed, right? And my kids will, if I lack to have self-awareness on things that I'm failing with my kids, they'll call me out on it. And we're parents, so we're ignorant. I'm an ignorant parent. I'm going to say it. Like, we get mad at the moment when they call us out. I get all upset. But then I come down here to my little thinking capsule, and I'm like, I can't get mad because my kid is calling me out on what I'm lacking as a parent or what I'm saying to them that's out of pocket or what I'm doing out of the hurt that I endured when I was a kid growing up. I can't get mad about that. Then I say I'm sorry to them. And we have a conversation. My kids will call me out. What I lack on or what I slack in as a parent, they will call me out on it. Okay? Because there's no excuse for that. My husband gets mad when the kids call him out on certain shit. But like I tell him, you can't get mad. Because yes, we lacked a lot of shit growing up, but that's no excuse for us to be like that with our children. Okay? They're humans too. We brought them to this world. We're supposed to be there for them. We're supposed to stand 10 toes down. It doesn't matter all the shopping and the going out and the working for them. No. We're supposed to be there for them, to listen to them, to be there for them, to show up for their events and everything like that. We need to start taking accountability as parents, okay? The way we expected our parents to take accountability. And we make it not a repetition. I just told you guys this. I'm not repeating history with my babies. I'm not doing this to them. And yes, I've come across a point that I have lacked in that area. And they'll call me out on it and tell me. And then I feel so bad, you guys. You got to see how broken I feel when my kid comes and tells me, Mommy, I didn't feel heard from you. Oh, it makes me feel like shit. I'm not going to lie. Or you said this and it was hurtful. It kills me. It's hurtful. Okay? So I try my best not to do it again. Sometimes my husband gets mad. He thinks I'm the soft parent. And I tell him, listen, you have to understand. And especially coming out of him, that he dealt with that with a dad that wasn't present and he needed that and he suffers today from that and he doesn't see it and acknowledge it. We can't be like that with our kids. We need to be more understanding and give them what we lacked as kids. Even if it's attention, spending time with them and doing things with them. There's times he's on his game in the room and he'll come out, he's like, this lady's crazy. I'll be doing some karaoke with the kids. He plays sometimes Roblox with them. Like, we do little things like that. Those little moments matter, okay? Now, I'm going to ask my audience, right? Have you ever felt like you've been grieving one of your parents or someone who's still alive or someone you never really had? Have you guys ever seen yourself in this type of predicament in what I've been speaking about for the past hour and 20 minutes? Almost hour and a half. Have you guys ever felt like you've been grieving someone who is still alive? Absolutely. I grieve my dad all the time. I get so mad at him. I'm like, why can't you be there for me? Like, I need you to be there for me. Why? Why can't you answer my phone call? I called that man today 4 or 5 times. He never answered my phone call. Absolutely. It's hurtful. And it's crazy. There's no excuse for that. Because just because our children are older and they have their own lives, let me tell you something. You don't stop being a parent. Just because your children did their life with their wife and their husband, the girlfriend and the boyfriend, and they had children, you don't stop being a parent. You will be a parent until the moment you pass away or until your moment your child passes away. God forbid. Because sometimes people are unfortunate and they lose their children before they lose their own lives. You will always be the parent. Always. And your children, it doesn't matter how old they are, they will always look up to you. They will always come to you. They will always ask you for advice. They will always hit you up. They will always look forward for your support because you're their parent. You brought them into this world. That you're all they know. And besides their new family that they built, right? What's something you wish your parent gave you that now you give yourself? You know what?
It could be love.
Love, absolutely. I give myself love, right? That I wish my parent had given me. I give myself time and I give these things to myself. I give myself props. Props means I give credit where it's due to myself. I tap myself in the back. What I wish I had for the things I have accomplished. You know what? All you guys that are watching me, even this little channel here, although sometimes I feel like I want to give up on it because I'm going to be real 100%. I was talking up to my husband earlier. I was like, I don't feel like I want to continue this channel anymore, even though I enjoy talking to you guys and I talk about real stuff, you know. And there's times that I'm like, be absolutely, Geraldine, be good to yourself. Absolutely, Auntie Jerry. Let me tell you, there are times that I want to give up, but even this little channel where you guys are watching, and for those that will come across on the replay, even this, I'm proud of myself because I would have never thought to open up a channel. I would think it, but never put it into action. And then I had followers that, you know, people that were watching me on Facebook and people that supported me, some other people that supported me from other channel. They're like, do it, just get it done, blah, blah, blah. And I was scared to take that step, you guys, because I lacked so much support growing up. I felt like nothing was going to be supported, bro. You know, I keep it real, Auntie. You know, Auntie Jerry. It's truth. Like, I feel like I'm proud of myself for this. I'm giving myself props where it's due. Wow, oh my God, I did my channel. Even though sometimes I'm being real, like there's times that I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue the channel. Because there's times I'll look at him like some people don't come in and watch, or like I'll have like 5 people now, and I'm appreciative of you guys. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, I'm working really hard to build this channel, you guys. I do put my Cash App here. I didn't put it tonight because I totally forgot. I put my Cash App for those that want to support me financially. They can. They're more than welcome to. Hi, Teresa. How are you, baby girl? Thank you for coming in. Like, sometimes I'll put my Cash App here or my Venmo, and I tell people, if y'all want to support my channel financially, that's cool too. But you guys already supported me by being here watching me. And that's good enough for me. But I do put my Cash App sometimes. Yeah, I totally forgot to put it up tonight. But like, I'm proud of myself, you know? So something I wish that my parent gave me that I now give to myself is props for taking risks and taking that leap of faith of something that I want to do, and I'm afraid to do it because I didn't have the support growing up, because I grieve a parent that I wish I had. I'm doing it now, and it's hard. I'm not gonna tell you. There's days that I'm hard on myself over this channel. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real because this is not easy. Doing a channel, you start to think, am I talking about the right things? Are people enjoying my channel? Like, do people like being here? Like, you start to question yourself, all these things. And am I being authentic to these people? I think I am being authentic. What you see on my channel is what you're gonna get in person. This is just me. You're gonna meet the same person, same personality. It's not gonna change.
Yeah, but you gotta understand when you take a minute of your own life to stop what you're doing, probably like if you
It's
take,
Mr. Unforgettable talking.
if you take
We
this
are proud of
time,
you. Life is all about choices. You're
if
doing
you
your
take
best. Thank you, Teresa. I
if you
appreciate you,
take
baby
if you
girl.
could take a time of calling your dad knowing that you was about to cook or clean or do appointment or do something that is really
Absolutely.
important, and then he don't answer, and so I mean
He's talking about my dad not answering, and I took time out
he
of my day doing it.
anybody
Anybody, he says.
he could give you he don't he took you took the time out and
I
your
do.
space
I called like 4 or 5 times today, you guys. I
to
called my
talk
dad.
to him, and
He didn't answer.
and then
He didn't
it's
answer yesterday either, I think.
sometimes you need to understand that that's one thing that I learned, that
No, that's what I said.
your
You don't need to fix it
space,
anymore.
no,
I don't need to fix it.
the space that you took to take a
Absolutely.
time on
Thank you,
your life,
Teresa. Hi, Charlene. Hi.
to,
Oh, hi, Alina.
to take a time on your life to stop what you're doing, and that's time is value.
Yeah, time
And
is
then
valuable, Mr. Unforgettable
when
says.
you something that I learned for like not that long, but I'm already working on it. Knowing that
Talk louder so I can hear
the
you.
space that you always give to somebody is the space that I'm learning how to give it to myself. Like sometimes you gotta value yourself. Like that little space that time, probably like 5 minutes you took of your life, take it for you.
Well, Teresa said, hi, Mr. Unforgettable. Yeah,
But
come show your face so that the followers are seeing who they talking to. Push over here.
sometimes those 5 minutes of your life, and people don't appreciate that, even if that's a lot of value that come from you. Take it on your own. Take those 10 minutes. Oh, look, I know I'm supposed to clean, but if I gotta take 10 minutes of to give of my value, what I do is I give it to myself.
Yeah, he says he gives the time to himself now, like he's learned. I was talking about that earlier. Like, you come to the point that you don't want to fix it. You don't want to fix it. Like, letting go of the need for them to fix it. You come to that point. Like, you don't want them to fix it anymore. Like, you get used to, all right, it's whatever.
And then,
hey, buddy, looking good, she says.
and
Teresa.
remember, after that, it's gonna be a lot of threat. People are gonna feel. They're gonna try to make you feel good to you about, wow, look at what you're doing. Look at this. You put in this first and whatever. But that's something that
You learn to put yourself first, you mean, right?
Yeah, that's when you start giving your own self your personal value of the time that you think you want to give to somebody that you think is gonna receive it, and it's not. So that's how they feel after, and then all the threat come. Oh, look at when I die, like when my mom's when she. I used to call this lady all the time. She comes to Lawrence, not even probably like 20 minutes away from where I live. She don't come visit me. She come and visit my cousin, my aunt, and that's the little stuff I say.
And now they blame me that you don't hit her up.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's something that you gotta understand that is it gotta happen. It gotta happen if you wanna value your space and understand that I'm taking my own personal space into value to probably that time I take not to call my mom, I take doing it
Jen,
with my
what nail
wife.
color? I just got purple for
Spending
my
time
granddaughter.
with my wife, spending time with my kids, that's probably a value time that I know it won't be wasted. And and when people say that like my
Oh,
father,
Auntie Jerry, that's Eddie's aunt. Auntie Jerry. Everybody say hi to Auntie Jerry. That's Eddie O'Brien's aunt on our chat. She says that they always blame the wife. That's so absolutely true. I get the blame for everything. They tell him that he's choosing his wife
and
over his mother.
then
That's what he gets told.
like I said, I never grew up with my dad, and then he could be my blood, but like I always say, like love, every type of love, it could be any love, it could be any type of love. If you don't plant the seed, you will not gonna see result. That's the way I see it. Like if you never give me that love, I will never feel that love back to you. I can't love something that I can never have love from. If you never give me love, I cannot give you love
Yeah,
back.
we talked about that. We said that people start telling you, but it's your parents still.
Because
Yeah.
like God forget that he died, but I don't I don't got the heart to go over there and
Be fake at his funeral.
and just give some tears away, because my like I said, my time and my value is really, I really appreciate my own time, and I value myself. I cannot go to somebody's funeral even if he's, and they say he's my dad, because I'm being fake. I could take that probably time, not go to a funeral and spend time with people that always gave me the space to share my value. And
Yeah, people who appreciate you.
and
Yeah.
and parents over, like that's why I said, like, sometimes I'm an ass with my kids. Like, nobody's perfect. I really get mad always, all the time. It's something a little stupid, but it's something that is probably gonna be working on them when they're probably on the same age and have kids just like me. But I always teach my kids to. I, a long time without touching my kids. I don't put my hands on my kids. Never. Never, 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 never. I even got a stepson, and I never, ever, ever treat that kid bad. Even if I raise him, he's not my kid. But that's something value I could tell about my mom, that she told me you never put hands on kids that not yours. Even if I got the full the full right to hit him because I raised him, I would never put my hands on a kid. You know why? Because if as soon as you do that, you're gonna be hurting you're gonna be hurting somebody that they feel like they gotta die, and then you know where you came from. You never gotta die before. Why do something that they never had? He never done to you, because he never done it to me. Because I never raised him, and he never raised me, and I always try to be the best dad. I know I'm not perfect, but you always gotta, even like I say, even if the kids are in the wrong, you gotta make sure that for them understand that they're on the wrong. You never spoil on that. I never spoil my kids. Say, you fucked up in school. I'm gonna go to your school. We're gonna open a fucking meeting. I'm gonna sit down with all the teachers, and we're gonna find out why the fuck you fucking around.
Everyone say an extra prayer for me tomorrow. I'm going to a big extra mile for my granddaughter. We pray over Miss Teresa. She says, everyone say an extra prayer for her tomorrow. I'm going a big extra mile for her granddaughter. God bless you, Teresa. And may everything you're doing tomorrow, may God bless and guide you the whole way there and protect you and put his divine hands around you and make sure that he covers you the whole way there. And, that you enjoy your time with your granddaughter. God bless you, Teresa. Listen, I'm a firm believer of the Lord. I don't know how many people here believe in the Lord. I was actually talking about to my friend Jen. Now that we're talking about prayer, um, Jen, she's watching right now. She doesn't know how to text in the chat, but she texts me to my phone here. And she says the time is valuable. But I wanted to bring her up because I was actually talking to her. And I said, there needs to come a time that I do a show, that I bring people onto my show. Not onto the show, but like you guys are in the chat like this. And if you need prayer, that I pray for you guys. I've done this before. I've prayed over people when I on Facebook before, like pray over people, whatever you need me to pray for, I'll pray for it online. And not to be seen, because the Bible talks about that's not to be seen. Your reward is where it is. No, no, no. It's to authentically pray for people that need prayer over situations and things. And I think that at some point I'm gonna do a show about give me your prayer requests and I'm going to pray over you while I'm live on this channel. I believe in the Lord. I don't know what beliefs everybody has, but I believe that God exists, Jesus exists, and I believe that God can do a lot of things in people's lives. And I was talking to Jen about that. Thank you for reminding me of that, Teresa, as I just prayed over you and your granddaughter. At some point I'm gonna do that. I want to do that, and do one show that I pray over y'all, and whatever you guys want me to pray over you guys live on my show.
It's like I say, it's good to go to church.
It is good to go to church.
It's good to go to church and learn. If you don't got the time to be in your house and reading the Bible and stuff, it's good to go to church to learn.
Absolutely.
For those who don't know, the Bible is good to go to learn, because remember, what I always think, like I used to preach, like when I was in church, I used to preach, I used to love it, and like I always say, church is good, but on this time, I think it's more to hold yourself in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and God, yeah, but
Because the church, when stuff get really bad, people that are not serving the Lord, and then the other side. When I say the other side, it's people that they're anti-law. They don't believe in nothing.
Like atheists or people that have other beliefs. Yeah,
people that got other belief, and people that not ready, and people are not that they're not ready, like to Jesus. Jesus is not a ghost. Jesus is not a.
No, he's present.
It's not a person that could do magic. But if Jesus decide on the day, in the last moment, he decide to say, okay, we're not gonna have food for a couple months. I will send you food, because Jesus could do whatever he want with his people. And by reading the book, you will not get hunger. And then if you're not ready for that, because you haven't go to church and learn about the world, God is like food. It's like you won't get thirsty, and you when you read the Bible, that's the only thing, people won't get thirsty or hunger. But if you're doing something that's not from the Lord,
that's on a spiritual level too.
You will feel like you're hungry, like you want to eat 2 cheeseburger, you want to eat a lot of stuff, and people are not ready for that, and that's why the church is there for. But at some type of point, I think the people that in the other side, they want to destroy everything that got to do with God, for people don't fight the eternal life, like breaking the church down, because people are gonna be so scared for knowing that the truth that the Bible was talking about is coming so true, that they want to go and run to church. They want to go to someone that got a Bible, and probably.
And if you notice, when people are going through it, you guys, and if you notice, you see what Mr. Unforgettable saying? When people are going through it and they have stuff going on, or they have some feelings, they have a lot of stuff, let me tell you something. I've heard a lot of people that don't look for God and don't pray and stuff like that. They're like, oh my God, please, where are you? Please, God. They're begging God, right? You see what I'm saying? God exists. He's there, okay? My friend Jen says, nourishment for your heart and soul, the word of God. And she says, Jesus is nourishment for your heart and soul. That's what she's saying. And this is absolutely true. You guys, we're talking about God, because we're talking about we switched over into that element, because we were talking about prayer and what we're gonna do at certain point with the show. One night I'm just gonna pray over people because they need prayer. Everybody needs prayer, and where there's one and two and three and four in accord, in the same accord and the same vibe, praying, God is present. The word says it. All right. I just want to say something with this closing message, right? With the show, it says, and for those that you guys don't know, we were big churchgoers. Okay, we were big churchgoers. Me, my children, my husband. We were big churchgoers. We were very dedicated. I sang for the Lord. I love singing for the Lord. We were very, very, very involved with the church. Obviously, life happens. We've been through hard times. We've been through some hard things financially. We went through hard times in every way, shape, form that kind of, deteriorated us in our spiritual walk. But we're still trying. We're going on Sundays and we're trying to do what's best. Like I try to read the word, we try to get a prayer in and stuff like that. We're trying still. We're not perfect. There's not one person that walks on this earth that's not a sinner. And Teresa, to answer your question, this is purple. It's the pastel purple. Um, but anyways, you guys, you're not wrong for how you feel. Okay, you're not wrong for how you feel. So back to like the subject that we were talking about. You're not wrong for how you feel about grieving a parent that you didn't have while you were growing up. Okay, you're not wrong for that. I always thought I was wrong for that. And I felt shameful, like I said, and I used to get angry. No, we're not wrong for that, okay? You're not broken because your grief looks different, okay? You're not broken. Everybody's grief is different, okay? Love it. The vibe is real. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you, baby girl. It's a nice color. I decided to do this color for Easter. Um, some people grieve memories, right? Grieve memories with their childhood, right? And others grieve the absence of them. That's a loud, resonating two sentences there, you guys. And I'm gonna repeat again. Some people they grieve memories, and others grieve the absence of them, of not having those memories. Like I told you guys, I grieve not having my dad present while I was growing up. I grieve a lot of stuff, not having a lot of emotional support. I grieve a lot of things that my parents didn't do growing up. My husband is the same way. Because although he don't share those feelings with me sometimes, I know that a lot of the anger and a lot of the misbehavior and a lot of things that he shows, it's because he didn't get that growing up.
I want to jump on the subject like through the Bible way. I'm gonna explain you something through the Bible way. To show you all the space. To show you all feeling. No matter what you've been through, you always gotta learn how to say sorry.
Absolutely.
Even if you got all the power in your hands
and forgive, you need to learn to forgive. Yeah.
When I say all the power in your hands, it's like you got the right to say no or yes. That's the bigger power a person has on their hands. Do you? Can I talk to my dad even he did this to me? You decide yes or no, even if you got the power in your hands. But when you got the power in your hands and you're doing it the right way, because if you come to see when when Jesus was gonna be on the cross, before they put him on the cross, he looked up and he could tell and people behind him was saying, "Oh, if you are, he can't be God because if he was God, he won't go through this. He will destroy everybody. He won't even go to suffering. But if he comes to see, he could. He said right there in the Bible that he could ask for his father for 12 group of angels.
No, but multiplied.
Yeah, but one of those angels could multiply probably like for 10,000 more.
Like 200,000 angels or something.
So if you put those 12 angels together, you we talking about a lot of angels, right? So he decided not to hurt them, even if they were hurting him. So that's why he's showing us that no matter what pain you go through, if they make you bleed, if they make you any type of anger or any type of stuff that you've been through, or with whatever you've been, he always feels sorry for the people that even put him on the cross. He was feeling so he was praying for the people that would put him on the cross. he was saying that he looked up and Jesus said to his father, Father, forget them because they don't know what they're doing. He even had compassion for the people that was putting him in the cross. And that's why I learned how to. Some people, you don't need to be the enemy and say sorry, but if you know they're gonna hurt you because you could accept they're sorry, but if you know they're gonna hurt you, you don't need to be the enemy, but you gotta keep them away. Sometimes you gotta keep people away. You know, when like my family, you say sorry, fine. If it's not from your heart, it's still fine. But me accepting your sorry is coming. It's coming being real honest, and I say, okay, I accept your sorry, even if your sorry is fake. But I gotta keep you off because you hurting me more saying sorry that keep doing me allowing giving you that space to keep hurting me. So I gotta keep you away.
Oh, we spoke about this. We spoke about like you can forgive and you don't have to interact with those people again. It's truth. You don't. If he's saying that, sometimes some people you forgive them, but you give space. You don't have to interact with people when they hurt you over and over again. Auntie Jerry says, very nice to see Mr. Unforgettable have so much love. Absolutely. It's not an easy situation, and he struggles. Like I tell him all the time, he doesn't see it sometimes, and all his emotions and what he deals with. Um, he struggles with that. It's very hard. You got to move on. Me and my friend Jen, we talk about that. You can forgive people, and just you don't have to interact with them anymore.
No, you don't, because the thing is that
Forgiving doesn't mean you need to interact. Remember Jesus? He turned the tables, right? He was angry. He got gangster up in the temple, right? He got angry, but he didn't sin. See? As long as we don't hold resentment and we don't hold, that in our heart, and we forgive people for real, we're good.
One part of the Bible that I understand the like three version is that when God told like if you it's
Him over this way.
This part of the Bible talk about when you're in the street and when you could be in the mall and anywhere in any family house and you offer them like the salvation, the what God could do, how God can change.
Yeah, you bring them the word of God.
And then some people might accept it, and some people just want to listen to you for you could shut up, right? But then the Bible talk about to don't throw any pearls to the pigs.
Don't throw pearls to the pigs. Absolutely. You dust your feet off.
So when I mention that, that means for me in Mount South, it's like when somebody is hurting you, when somebody's hurting you, that means that just don't keep on, because the more you keep on, the more the person is gonna take advantage of you, and to the point that even if you're not a clown, they're gonna treat you like a clown.
Absolutely.
So I learned a lot from it, especially in jail. I learned a lot. In jail,
yeah, Mr. Unforgettable has been in jail. So.
You got no friends. Everybody want to be your friend because you got the food, you got the soup, you got the cookies, you go for breakfast and you're in your breakfast and they already want your bananas and everything. So people like that, you sometimes you gotta cut them off, because no matter, because in this moment right now, while in this moment of life that we're living, it's not like the same from the 80s. In the 80s, everybody the whole family
used to get together. Remember that?
No. They used to rent the whole building. Yeah. And people used to sleep over, have movie night. Now you don't see that no more. Like, you gotta take an airplane. People don't want to get along together. People don't want to go do like family reunion no more. And then this messed up on the kids. So that's you gotta be a better parent to teach your kids that it's fine. We used to do that. We used to put the cousins together, and they don't do that. It's fine. So I give you that point of value that you're missing of not having your cousins around. Why we don't turn it into a family that you are while we here in the house. and you give that value of time to your own family. Right now, family and no family no more. People are thinking how to survive, how to do.
They become selfish too.
Yeah, how.
Thinking of themselves.
Yeah, because selfish is some. It's a word that is really strong. Like especially when you know somebody is really selfish, it's like somebody that's not gonna get nowhere. That they just thinking just to win the race and pull the stick or throw somebody a rock just to win the race. But what's gonna happen? He can go back and fix that everybody that he hurt. At the time that he make it, he's like a rich person saying, "Oh, I want to be rich. I want to be rich." And then when you get rich, you forgot who you want to help, who you want to, because they already reach their limit. So that's why I always teach my family, especially everybody in my house, to stay humble, to be humble, to spread the word humble, and spread the love, because humble and love is something that not even science could find in real information about this, because it comes straight from your heart. It comes straight from you. It's something that they can create. Only human could create that love and humbly. That's something that human only could create. That no machine could create it. Nobody could have it just your own self. If you the way, if you are the same, if you are a good person, you always gonna have good people around you. But if you, I don't like to say the word ghetto, but if you like people that like to drink and party and smoke weed or that, and you do that too, that's the only people you're gonna have around there.
Well, we realized that when we lived in our house, you guys, we had lots and lots of friends and supporters when we partied. And those people are nowhere to be found. And family members too. We had people come over all the time. Not anymore. Listen, we do things for our children. We have parties like, and sometimes family doesn't show up. It hurts my kids. My kids growing up, like my son was graduating from high school. He always called my dad daddy since he was a baby. And he expected my dad to be there for his graduation when he graduated high school. It was a very important milestone. My dad never showed up. That hurt my son. And I remember that day he graduated, I hugged him, and we cried so much, me and my son, because we know what we've been through as a family. Yo, when I tell you, my husband and me and my children have built from the ground up. That's why when we're talking about what do I give myself that my parents didn't give me, is
No
props.
bed,
Props. We didn't have beds at
one
times.
TV,
One TV for
watch
everybody. One game
TV,
system. Like we
only
barely
like three
had.
DVDs
We
that
had no car. Remember, we had
the
no car.
DVDs, the movie, we used to watch that like 3 times
Yeah, we
every,
had DVDs. We watch over and over with the kids. Like
you
we didn't
know?
have a vehicle. We used to walk out in the cold with the kids in the carriage. We didn't have any help, you guys, and we went through a lot of shit. And a lot of people never came around because, especially family, because we were not on their level of, you know, finances, you guys, which was pretty sad. That's why we're proud of what we have built from the ground up, you guys. It hasn't been easy. We're still struggling. Everybody struggles financially. We're still having a hard time. We're trying to make ends meet, but we're here and we're giving
Like
ourselves the props.
one of the things that is I've been working a lot and I learning. I'm a type of person that I didn't know how to say no.
Yeah, he never knew how to say
But
no.
you gotta watch out because people are better than you right now. Like they better emotional, they better fucking the way they're living, they they better than you in that moment. But some people, even if they have everything, they wanna act like they need something from you. Knowing that and knowing damn well that you don't got nothing to offer them, like
Yeah,
because you
absolutely.
got no love. You trying to raise your own love. You trying to get your life together and stuff. And people and a lot of people come and take advantage even if they got more than you. Even if they're not going through it, they just want to get on your personal space and fuck with your hair and fucking they want to use you
They
and
just gotta
shit.
mess with your peace. That's all it is. That's
You
what he's trying
know,
to say. But That's why we have to set boundaries. We grew up with grieving parents that we wish we had, and we decided we're not perfect. We've had our ups and downs in our marriage. We've been together 20 years. There's times I lacked in my marriage. There's times he's lacked in our marriage. There's time we lacked as parents towards our children. But we're here and we're working hard. So what we're giving ourselves now, although we grieve parents that we never had, is props to what we have built together on hard times, through sickness, through health, through hell, through high water, through anything we went through addiction, everything we went through, we have built from the ground up. This channel, I'm proud of it because I've built it from the ground up. I was afraid to transition into the YouTube life because I don't know how to mess with YouTube, but we're here.
It's like two stuff that is really wrong. The woman got wrong, and sometimes the guys wrong. Always got wrong. That the guys so that always think a man always think that when he's a dad, oh I'm already a dad and he's dad, and they think they can't do enough like like the what the woman can do. Like no, why I gotta come home? Why I gotta do this? They feel like the woman gotta do everything, right? Oh, though you don't work, so because you don't work, I just don't got to do nothing when I get home. You gotta do it all. You gotta do the dishes. You gotta do that. And then some other women always want to put out there that I carry you for almost 9 months. But something both of you are understanding, the guy and the man and the woman, is that if you don't give the same love to your kids, if you don't give no type of love to your kids, what's gonna be the point on their future?
They're gonna carry that into their future too. That's what I was saying. What we suffered, we I try to avoid as much as possible to carry that into my children's, and I'm not perfect, and we want to make sure that they don't carry that on like a generational curse into their lives as well. But guys, let me tell you something. I'm gonna repeat it again. I pinned my Cash App to the top. I had my other phone and I pinned it to the top. If you guys want to contribute to my channel, you can. I also put in the chat my Venmo if you want to contribute. You guys being here has been contributing enough. You guys being supportive. But I just want to let y'all know you're not wrong for how you feel if you're grieving a parent you wish you had. And if nobody ever told you this, it's okay to mourn the parent that you deserved. It's okay to mourn it and want it and desire it and hurt over it. It's normal, okay? Even if they were never that parent or that person, it's okay to mourn.
But you know what? I saw you that I would like to talk tomorrow.
No, it's Mondays and Wednesdays now.
On
Wednesday.
on, you gotta decide to talk about how manipulate your daughter and your son could be.
When children like to manipulate their parents, yeah, we need to talk about that subject. He's saying
because it's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the house. They act like little angels, and then in school, they want to be something they're not. Like
yeah, maybe we'll talk about that Wednesday.
yeah, because
But you guys, you're not wrong for feeling how you feel.
oh no way.
I'm not wrong for feeling how I feel and what I desired as a parent and what I lacked as a child growing up. You're not wrong. He's not wrong for feeling the way he feels. And Auntie Jerry, I feel you 100%. We're always to blame. The mother-in-laws want to blame the wife always, and it's fucking annoying. You're right. I read that earlier and I was cracking up. Yeah, it's annoying. But anyways, you guys, I've been on here for almost 2 hours. This has been a wonderful conversation. We included God in the conversation, in the mix, our children, our feelings, our story time. You guys shared what you wanted to share with us. We appreciate you being here in the Unfiltered Corner, supporting this channel. God bless you guys. Pray over me. I need prayer that I may continue this channel and not give up on it, and pray that God guides me and helps me with this channel and helps it grow and it gets to ears that need to listen to this stuff. God bless you guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here. in the Unfiltered Corner. I am your host, the Unforgettable. And of course, we had tonight, although at towards the end, Mr. Unforgettable, we had him on tonight to kind of share a little bit of his experience and everything. But I appreciate you guys. Much love, peace, and we're going to listen to my song, to my show before we end this live. God bless y'all. Bye 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 bada bada bye 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 bada 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 bye bye. Welcome to the Unfiltered Corner. Pull up a chair, leave the mask at the door. We talk about the things they hide. Real talk, real life, nothing brushed aside. It's the unforgettable, yeah. Remember the name? Oh, yeah. We talk about topics, we say what we mean. No games, we keep it real and raw. Let the truth come through. Judgment free zone, judgment free zone. This space is for you. Come get comfortable, relax, get loose. Kick off your day, shake off that booze. Welcome to the Unfiltered Corner. It's true. The Unforgettables here. I'm riding with you. The Unforgettables here. And we're riding with you. Peace, you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Good night. And I'll see you guys Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on my show with The Unforgettable and Mr. Unforgettable. Peace.